Hi, everyone. It's Zena Krogodal, your American Dream Makers host. What a beautiful day we have. And I have Lucas Flood in the house. He is a fantastic guy, and I will introduce him here in just a bit. But first, if you are watching this, please be sure to share this and get this message out. Lucas is just a great guy, has a great message. So we want to make sure that he gets heard. So please share this out. Also, go ahead and give StreamYard permission so that we can see your comments when you're on here. So let me play my intro video and I'll be right back. Hi, it's Zena Krogodal with American Dream Makers. I've got Lucas Flood today. Please welcome him. He is an experienced insurance agent to Atlas Insurance Brokers, and he's launched Lucas Flood Agency to provide clients with better options and personalized service. Lucas is dedicated to finding the best coverage at the best price, partnering alongside clients as their insurance needs evolve. With access to all sorts of insurances nationwide, Lucas Flood Agency specializes in life, small business, ATV, RV, motorcycle, boats, umbrellas, you name it, many other specialties. He's got it all, you guys. So without further ado, please welcome Lucas. How are you, Lucas?
Zena, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And so we just want to get started because you are honestly, I've known you for quite some time now, and you honestly are just one fabulous guy, just so genuine, just so easy and going, and you're so smart too. So I just want to know how you, I guess, got started. Tell us from the beginning. Who are you, and how did you get started?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for just having me on the show. Yeah, love to just chat with you, and fun to connect just on a personal level. But yeah, excited to share a little bit about myself, my passion, what I do here with Atlas Insurance Brokers, a little bit about my background and how I got into insurance, and kind of some previous career fields, and kind of what keeps me going. So. Yeah, so I'm an Arizona native. Just a little bit about me personally. Grew up in Flagstaff, born and raised up there. Went to high school, went to college up there. Went to NAU, so go Jacks.
Yeah.
I knew I liked the idea of business. So while I was at NAU, I was taking some business classes. Took some management, some marketing, some accounting classes. Really liked the idea of marketing. Kind of captivated me to the most. So I ended up pursuing my bachelor's degree in marketing, and I like the idea of kind of sales, service, just building relationships. Educating clients on options and stuff like that. So jumped into a career in banking, and worked for Bank of America for about 8 years, and then just looking for something different, and ended up transitioning from banking into insurance. Like the idea of kind of helping people, educating people about their insurance options, and was with insurance agency for almost 7 years, and then I took the leap of faith, just wanting more options for my clients, and just wanted to be able to provide a higher level of service that I wasn't able to do previously. And so started my own independent agency, and been doing that about 2 years, and loving it. So it's been a good ride, and just kind of on my way up and building my book of business. But it's a great business. I enjoy meeting people, building relationships. That's kind of what keeps me going every day. So a little bit about me and where I'm at in my work life. So
That's great, and I'm glad you gave us a nice summary leading up to all that. So, out of curiosity, for those that may not fully, I guess, maybe understand, what is the difference between being a broker and being an agent?
that's a great question. That's again, one of the big reasons that I transitioned from a captive agency where I was at before, learned a lot of good fundamental skills, learned, insurance in and out. But with the captive agency, I was really doing more just personal lines and just writing business with just one company. So a lot of times they were a good fit for clients, but if rates changed or if it was they had a unique situation, a property maybe they couldn't insure, or they had a small business that they wanted to bundle. A lot of stuff I was not able to do just with that, that kind of a narrow appetite on what types of policies I could write. So I actually had a friend who was a broker, and there was stuff like if I couldn't write business, I would end up sending some business to him. And kind of always had in the back of my mind the idea of starting my own agency and being able to capture all of that and be able to better serve my clients. So if their needs change from year to year to year, instead of only having that one option, I'd have more options to be able to, meet them where they were at and help them out with those needs as their life changed or their needs changed. So, anyways, as a broker, I'm not tied to just one or two companies. I truly have my client's best interest in mind. So I partner with over 15 different companies, so I can kind of shop rates. If somebody's just looking for the best deal, or if somebody's looking for a special type of coverage that maybe one company doesn't offer, I can, find another company that will meet those needs.
Awesome. Well, thank you for explaining that, because I do believe that there's some people who don't really quite know the difference. And so you've expanded because you wanted to have a better reach for your clients. So that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So I want to go back a little bit further. You'd mentioned you grew up in Flagstaff, correct?
I did. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what that was like. Now, I grew up in Flagstaff too, but I'd like to know what your experience was.
Yeah. Well, every time I tell people now, it's like, oh, you grew up in Flagstaff, you're probably ready to get out of the cold. And growing up there, I mean, it's all you know. So I mean, yeah, we got a ton of snow and some cold winters, but when you grow up there and you're kind of immersed in it, it's all you know. So I really enjoyed the cold winters and growing up. My brothers and I and friends, we'd go shovel driveways in the winter just to make a little bit of extra money. So, as kids, doing that and playing in the snow, going sledding, enjoy the trees, the pine trees up there. So I enjoyed growing up at Flagstaff. Got three brothers, so we kind of had a rowdy household, but we had fun. We made the most of it. So it was kind of a good hometown to be raised in, and grew up up there. So I enjoyed living there in the cold weather, and kind of loving Prescott. Been down here about 17 years, but had a really good upraising in Flagstaff.
That's nice. And then were you into sports growing up?
I was, yeah. I played a lot of sports. So as I mentioned, I had three brothers, so we were always doing something at the house. If we weren't fighting with each other, playing some backyard, wiffle ball, or playing football in the street. We lived pretty close to a local park over there, so we'd go get some of the other kids from our neighborhood and go play, baseball and soccer and all different sports. So I grew up doing it all, and then into middle school and high school also played some soccer, played some baseball. I was on the high school wrestling team and cross country team. So did a little bit of everything. So I've always been kind of competitive and enjoyed, being athletic and competing. So I always tried different sports, but I think baseball, soccer, wrestling were kind of the big ones for me.
Did you get the cauliflower ear? I don't think I noticed.
I didn't. No, thankfully. One of my brothers did, but always wore my ear pads. So
Did you guys wrestle each other when you were practicing?
yeah, they were a couple years older, but yeah, we wrestled together and practiced at the house, and as well as just on the same team. So
So are you the baby of the family then? Are you the youngest?
No, I'm third of four. So I've got two older and then one younger.
Okay. Wow.
So, so
That's
yeah, we had a lot of fun. Still thankful to have a really good relationship with my parents and my brothers today. So we keep in touch and enjoy family get-togethers, camp outs, stuff like that. Still have a little competitive nature.
awesome. So then how did you end up meeting your wife?
So yeah, so grew up in Flagstaff, went to high school there. Went to NAU, was taking the business classes there, and then we had some mutual friends. My wife was actually working at Sears for a short time, and we had some mutual friends that would hang out, on the weekends and go to movies and just little get-togethers. And so I met my wife Katie just through that group of friends, and we just stayed in touch for a while and kind of maintained a friendship for a couple of years. And then as we were both graduating from NAU, she moved back down to Prescott, where she was from. And I was kind of looking at exploring my options. And we started kind of dating around that time and getting serious. So we kind of agreed together to kind of move down to Prescott and start our life together. I had a job opportunity with the bank where I was with Bank of America. So I was able to, transition down here. They had a job opening. So it was just a good fit to, try something different. Being born and raised in Flagstaff, I was ready to, spread my wings a little bit and, with the relationship, grow with Katie. So we moved down here together and, just celebrate our 15-year anniversary in March. So that was a big, exciting milestone for us.
That's a big milestone for sure. 15 years. And for a lot of couples, that's kind of where the magic really begins. They say if you can make it through the first dozen years, that's when you really start to get into the groove of things. Do you find that to be true?
So far, so good. Yeah. So it's, we've got three little ones at home, although my oldest just turned 12. So I've got a 12, 10, and 7-year-old. So, always never a dull moment at home with the kids and all that they have going on, activities and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as, Katie and I, it's a good relationship. We kind of balance each other out. She's kind of loud and outspoken, and
she's
fun.
a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah. So I kind of help balance her out as I'm kind of more of a hiding in the backgrounds, if you will. So she's more outspoken than I am.
Well, and I believe that's why they say opposites attract, because
Yeah, I agree.
Two people were the same, it would be pretty boring, first of all, but we wouldn't also bring out the best of in each other. So
we'd be shouting over each other. So this way, yeah, we balance each other out. But yeah, we really enjoy a lot of the same things. It's fun to be able to introduce our kids to some of our passions. So we do enjoy going camping and kayaking. We've got some stand-up paddle boards. So we'll take the kids out. They've got their own, smaller size kayaks. So we'll do family, just lake days. Love going hiking and checking out new trails, and just introducing my son into hunting. I grew up hunting up in Flagstaff. I enjoy deer, elk, turkey hunting. So my son just turned 10. So he's of the age now where he's able to hunt. They've got to be at least 10 years old. So he's going through his hunter safety class right now, and hoping to put in for fall turkey with us. So it'd be fun to have him follow in my footsteps. And he's interested in it too. We wouldn't force him into that, but good to see them showing some interest in what we have an interest in also.
Yeah, that hunter safety class is a great class too. There's a lot of great information. Even if you weren't going to go hunting, I think, kids really should go through that class, because there's just so much about safety and just being aware of things. So I think it's great.
Yeah, so, I think the first couple of modules are just about, watching out for property behind where you're going, private property, not shooting things that are just to leave them there, but just really a good harvest experience and knowing why you're out there and appreciation for the outdoors. So
absolutely. So you had mentioned that one of your first jobs out of college was working for Bank of America. And you were with them for how many years?
I about 9 years, almost 9 years.
Wow. So,
So
and then were you in the same position, or did you kind of start as a teller and move up, or how did how did that go about?
yeah, so I changed positions a few times, but for the majority of it was worked as a personal banker. So I started kind of as a hybrid. I was a banker, and then if they were needed a teller position, I would jump over and run those cash transactions as a teller. But majority of the time was just a full time personal banker. So I really reflect back on that, enjoy the time there. I know the banking industry, I feel like, has changed in recent years, but yeah, we had a pretty big team and had some friends and friendships that I built through the bank while I was working there, and you just get to know your clients. They come in and cash their checks, or if their needs change, they need to apply for a credit card, they're looking for a home loan. I didn't do the full home loan experience, but I would at least get some basic information, transition over to some of my partners, um, help them set up different savings accounts for their kids, and I don't know, you just really get to know people and build relationships when you see them, month in, month out. You learn good follow up skills. If they say, "Oh, I'm getting paid in a couple months, or I'm changing jobs," call me here, a couple months, and let's discuss that opportunity. So I'm thankful for that opportunity. Just a lot of the friendships. It was a fun job, good cash handling skills, but also just good follow up skills and kind of staying in touch with my clients, and they get to know you, you get to know them, and what's changing in their life, and being able to help them along the way. So I feel like that's something I've really enjoyed doing now. Still, is I've got clients I've had for a couple of years that had followed me from my past agency, that said, "Hey, I want to be with you. You're my agent. You're always responsive." And they're having kids now, or they're buying their first house. So being able to take care of the insurance needs related to their life change is really enjoyable for me.
That's great. So 9 years with the bank, and then you decided to venture out and do something different. And so now you decided to own your own business. What was that like? Was that scary? What made you decide to take that jump?
Yeah, it's really scary. Actually, when I left the Bank of America, I was my wife and I were pregnant with our third child, and the bank actually gave me almost 3 months of paid time off. So I ended up forfeiting that 3 months of paid time off to start my new insurance career, just because, yeah, I just felt wholeheartedly it was the right thing to do for me. We had the two other little ones at that time. So it's just trying to find a good work-life balance. I felt like with, my job at the bank, I was working 6 days a week, and as my kids were growing up, and there was activities at the school, or little um, father child events, and a lot of that stuff wasn't able to go to, because I was the guy at the bank. I couldn't leave. I was kind of tied to those banking center hours. I didn't have a lot of flexibility, and so that was kind of my main driver of trying to find something where I could still provide for my family, but wanted something with more flexibility as far as the scheduling goes, and being able to attend those events, with my kids and my wife, and just have a little more family time. And that's where it was just kind of researching some different career options, and kept stumbling across, insurance. And I felt like a lot of the skills and things aligned with my passions and some of the background and work history that I had. And so I ended up interviewing and got the job, and the rest is history. So
That's great that you share all that, because sometimes people aren't, I guess, brave enough to take that leap, because when you're going from getting a solid paycheck and you have good insurance, like you talked about, you got really good benefits, especially for paternity leave.
Yeah.
3 months paid, to be with your family, and then to give that up because you knew in your heart that this was the next chapter that needed to happen in your life. And so I definitely applaud you for taking that leap of faith. That's a true entrepreneurial ship attitude, and all about what American Dream Makers is about, because you were pursuing the American dream, and now you are helping other people to obtain the American dream
Yeah.
through your
Thank
service.
you. Yeah, it was a not an easy decision. I, had some friends at the time like, "What are you thinking?" But yeah, I feel like you just have to take that leap of faith if you know it's the right fit. Kind of take a chance on yourself to be able to make it work. And so that was something that kind of helped fuel the fire. Like, my back's against the wall. I'm taking this career change at this pivotal moment. So looking back, I wouldn't have done it any other way. But it was definitely a risky decision, and something that we put a lot of thought into at the time. But happy with the path and where it led. And so yeah, and I think with going into my original insurance career, that was good. And then jumping to start my own independent agency was kind of another leap of faith. That 2 years in, owning the Lucas Flood Agency, has been a really good experience so far too. So
Well, and so when you are doing these changes and taking these risks, I think it is so important to have such a great supporting spouse, because if you don't have your partner, supporting you in that, that can be very challenging. And so Katie has been an enormous support for you. So tell us how that was for you on that end, having a great supporting spouse.
yeah, it's I don't want to say it's a must, but it's a must. I mean, because there was a lot of times, especially early on, trying to get my business up and running, where you're kind of working outside the 8 to 5, Monday through Friday schedule. So there's times where if I had a big client or new prospect calling me on a Friday evening or Saturday, or whatever that looks like, time kind of outside those normal work hours, she was really great at and she still is today, like, "Hey, let me take the kids, or I'll keep them occupied so I can take care of this client, or run some quotes for a new prospect." And just being able to know that my business has its twists and turns, and sometimes I have to take care of business, Johnny on the spot. So she does a good job just supporting me, and like I said, helping with the kids. So if I'm working from home a day or something like that, she'll watch the kids while I can make these calls and send out emails. And it takes some time away from our relationship as well. If I'm doing some checking emails for an hour or two on a Saturday, it's a time could be spent with the family. So it's we try to make sure it's really time well spent if I'm doing that outside of our normal family hours. So she's really flexible and supportive of me, and just knowing that as I'm continue to build my career and grow my book of business and handle client needs, that she's really helpful at accommodating that.
Awesome. She's an awesome person. That is for sure. Anybody that knows Katie knows how much she's just full of energy, full of life, and always has a positive attitude. So I can't imagine, that it would be just a very inspiring environment for you to be married to somebody like that, who is that supportive all the time. She's like your personal cheerleader when you're around her.
Yes, yeah. She
So
does cheer for me sometimes. So yeah, and it's fun. And I know with I'd say part of my give back is with my agency now. I'm partnered with a couple other quite a few other independent agency owners. So we share ideas. We share certain companies that are a good fit for certain clients. Our rates are changing. We kind of keep an open conversation through kind of a collective of other independent agency owners. So once a year we do a fun trip as well. So that's something I look forward to every year. Being able to take Katie on those trips, as she is part of my business as well, with the sacrifices and the cheerleading that she does. So it's nice to be able to have a little bit of downtime, obviously for the once a year little trips that we go on, but there's more to it than that. But that's just, a little piece of something I could do back and give back to her as kind of a token of appreciation and thank you for helping me through it, for us to go on those little recognition trips and have some fun.
Well, that's very kind of you to consider her for sure. And you've won some great trips. I mean, I know you've won some accolades over the years being an insurance agent and even with Atlas. And so that is great. So congratulations to you for being top agent, being top of your, of your industry. So,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I know that
it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's what keeps me going every day, just to keep working hard. I think just hard work goes a long way. So nice to see it pay off.
yes, it absolutely. And you're right. If you put into it, you'll get out of it. And so you definitely have put the work into it. And not only that, but you also, I can tell, and also because I've known you, you also have a servant's heart. You're out there serving people, and that's really what sets you apart from some other people. Not now. I think we live in a community that is full of a lot of servants who serve our community, and I think that's what makes the Prescott area very special. But you definitely, I know you go out of your way to really just serve your clients, and because that's just the way you are, that's just who you are. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure that I know you may not always hear that from the other end, but just as an observer from the outside looking in, I just wanted to put that out there to you.
Well, I appreciate that. No, I think that's important. I think sometimes it's overlooked, obviously, talk about business ownership and working hard, and a lot of it circles back to, the dollars and cents and making money, but there's so much more to it than that, with, wanting to start my own business, just have more flexibility. Part of it is, just opportunities, obviously opportunities with my kids and families, but, I try to get back where I can. I do some volunteer with my church. I do some volunteer with some little league. I help out, with certain events wherever I can. So I think that's important to, especially in the Prescott community. It's everybody's hometown, so it's fun to be able to give back, whenever I can, and volunteer some time, and love to get plugged into more events and things like that. But I appreciate you saying that. So.
And I mean, you have a family of 3 kids you've mentioned, and they definitely keep you very, very busy. And so balancing work life and making sure you have time for the family is definitely a balancing act at times. So can you give us any tips on that for those that are listening and trying to do that balancing act? Because sometimes I know it's hard to keep that all back.
Yeah, my advice or my feedback is just, when I started my agency, I was just working from home for a little bit, but I really wanted a space. Now I've got a great office downtown Prescott, but just where I can meet clients. And to me, it's, if I'm going to take time away from my family and come into the office, I try to be as efficient as possible. So I don't spend a lot of downtime on Facebook or social media. I do, on some of my off time, but if I'm in the office, if I'm helping clients out, I'm trying to schedule appointments as efficiently as possible. I'm doing quotes, I'm doing, follow up, and, servicing my clients, trying to be as efficient as possible. So that way, when I leave the office for the day, I can feel good about getting everything that needed to be done, or if there's, something that's still, a project, in progress, I'm at least, touching base with those clients. Say, hey, I'm still working on this. I haven't forgot about you. I need another day. So I think just, I don't know, just working hard when you're at the office, time management, and then, when you're, having the family time, just really, really soaking it up. So.
That's great advice. Definitely being present when you're
Yeah,
there. Because
yeah.
sometimes it's hard when you own your own business, sometimes that can be hard to tune out.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen people like at events and they're just emailing, texting. It's like, well, you were there physically, but did you see what happened? So I just try to, yeah, shut down my phone, when I'm at those type of events, or make sure I'm really giving some face time to my kids and Katie, my wife. So it feels present. So
That's great. And I'm sure they really appreciate that you are present and there with them. So, uh,
they
because
enjoy it. Yeah, we have fun together. So.
yeah, and you guys are definitely all over the place. Like each of your kids are involved in doing different things.
They are, yeah. I mentioned I helped with my son's little league. So he's plays baseball. His team just won their league, so that was really exciting. But yeah, my all three of my kids actually dance. They send us some hip hop and tap, and my two daughters do tap, jazz. They do some ballet dancing, so they're pretty involved. Yeah, I think they got the nudge from my wife Katie, who's a dance teacher as well. So some of the skills and the family nudge there. But yeah, they do dance. They do some Girl Scouts, baseball. Getting ready for soccer to come in the fall. So yeah, and then just some of the outdoor stuff. We enjoy our hikes and just entertaining at home, little water balloon fights. We enjoy going to the pool as a family and just some board games at home. So some of the simple stuff too. We don't always have to be traveling or doing sports, but we enjoy just time together and snowboarding, winter activities, a little bit of everything.
So there's never a dull moment in the flood home.
There's never a dull moment. No, so we get a little bit of downtime here and there, but we usually have a pretty full schedule.
That's awesome, and that is definitely the American dream that many people, seek to have, is to be able to have your own business, to be able to enjoy the family, and to be able to have all of that. So, congratulations to you for being able to just experience that and have joy in that. So that's awesome. And you have amazing kids. They are all so cute, full of personality. Each one of them are very different too in their
Yeah.
personalities and what they like and how they interact, but they're all fantastic kids. So you and Katie have done a great job with them.
Well, thank you. We try. Yeah, we've got our challenges like everybody else with some of them, but no, all in all, we love them and try to pour our hearts out to them and just trying to raise them the best we can.
That's
But yeah, it's fun to see them grow.
And it goes by fast too. So, I mean, the years
Yeah,
definitely fly. So, definitely, I'm glad that you said to just sit there and be present with them, because I do think that a lot of people do struggle with just being present in the times, be present in your work when it's time to work, right? Not be distracted,
yeah,
but then be present in your personal life when it's time to be present there too. So,
exactly. That's the stuff that builds memories, and at the end of the day, you can't take that stuff away. So it's good to be there and help them grow and yeah, build memories, have some fun together.
so out of all of your experience in life, I do want to ask you, what are you most grateful for?
Wow, that's a tough question. You're supposed to give me some a heads up that you're sending me the hard questions now. What am I most grateful for? I don't know. I know we've been talking about family. I feel like I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my upbringing. I still have a really good, close relationship with my parents, and they're still married happily for almost 40 years. I know a lot of people can't say that, so it's something I'm proud of. I feel like they raised me and my three brothers the right way, and we just had fun as kids and just learned the value of hard work, the value of savings, value of just relationships, and then I think that kind of umbrella type effect drips down on everything else with the relationship I have with my brothers and now the relationship with my wife and my kids, and hopefully just trying to instill that same um, value in them, that having time together is important. Family time is important. It's special. aside from, careers and jobs and activities, sometimes it gets, really busy. But just having some, those anchors there, your family, just to be able to, rely on is something I'm grateful for that. Um, I'm grateful for just living in Prescott. I think it's a great community, great town, and just the people here. A lot of the friendships that we've made, the career opportunities here have been really good. So um, thankful for all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that on the fly. I knew you had it right there. I mean, when you're just, and I know it was hard to probably list one because you are very thankful for a lot of things because you are blessed. So that's awesome.
I am, yeah.
So if in the products that you offer, what is the most? Is there one that's most important than another, or I mean, maybe list the top three that people definitely need to have.
Yeah, definitely. So by law, you got to have your auto insurance. If you own your home, you need to have some homeowners insurance, renters insurance. I think life insurance is so important, especially if your family relies on you financially. If you're the breadwinner, if you and your spouse, have, two incomes and you rely on both of those. Life insurance is pretty inexpensive, and it really can make a difference if something tragic happens and one of those surviving spouses passes away, just to make sure your family's protected. So auto home life is kind of the bread and butter of what I do. Also been talking to a lot of small business owners, so doing a lot of commercial auto insurance, general liability, Arizona emissions coverage. I can take care of all that. All the toys, we've got a lot of ATV owners, motorcycles, golf carts, boats, travel trailers. I can write all those. And then even some of the manufactured homes. I know with that becoming kind of a popular thing with some of the housing prices going up. I've seen more people getting into the starter homes with manufactured homes. I know there's not a lot of carriers that can write those, so I do have some really good options for manufactured homes as well. So I know you asked for the top three. There's my top 10.
Awesome. Well, and that's good to know because some of those that you mentioned, not everybody thinks about. We know
Right.
we need to have auto, we know we need to have home insurance, but some of the other ones you don't really, and like you said, and even life insurance. So I'm glad that you expounded. So that's great to know what your products are. So if you guys want to get a hold of Lucas, it's lucasfloodagency.com and his number 928-800-5630. And Lucas is very responsive. He's he won't ghost you whatsoever. So he's awesome in the response and all that. So I guess before we wrap things up, I want to just kind of give you, is there any one last thing you want to leave us with? Any inspiring story, any tips, any recommendations?
Sure. Yeah. And one thing, just to back up real quick. Yeah, I always try to be real responsive to my clients too. So, email me, call me, I'll get back in touch with you, at least keep you in the loop. So I feel like, if I'm calling somewhere for a quote or a service transaction, I want good communication skills. I want them to follow up, and I try to offer that same level of service. As far as just a little nugget to leave everybody with, I would say if you're feeling the nudge in your heart to try something new, or change careers, change jobs, do something that you're passionate about, or if you've got a good reason to kind of take a turn in your career, just work hard at it, go for it. And the worst thing that can happen is a little bit of failure, but that's part of just building your resiliency and help making you stronger for the next time. So I don't know. I guess that's it. Just take a chance. Take a chance. How's that?
That's a great tip. And I really love that you said, even if you don't succeed, even if you fail, don't be afraid to fail, because it's just a part of the learning experience and the journey. In fact, I've heard many say that that is part of the key to success, is to go ahead and fail fast so that you can fail forward.
Right, you
So
learn why you failed, what you could have done differently, and then you can correct that, and you can help you get better. So it's, I've learned that lesson, and so it's things you do, things you say, you realize there's sometimes better ways you can do it. You learn from yourself, your mistakes, and kind of helps you improve, professionally, personally. And so I think that's a good tip.
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Lucas, for taking time out of your busy schedule, because you are very busy between work, kids, and all the things that you do. So I really appreciate you being on here. You guys, again, please make sure you get a hold of Lucas, at least get him to give you some quotes on, there's no obligation to at least give him a call and see what's going on with your policies. And I think it's probably good to update them every so often anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, we do a free review. There's no cost, anything like that. So if just general questions, I get that all the time. People, hey, what does this mean? Can you explain this? So happy to just have a conversation. And yeah, we do some free quotes and kind of a full review. So happy to help anybody that's interested.
Awesome. All right, Lucas. Well, I will say goodbye for now. Thank you for being an American Dream Maker. You are awesome. Your family's awesome. So keep up doing the good things that you're doing. You're just going to continue to succeed and do well. So,
well, thank you, Zena, for having me on the show. It's a great time. And yeah, look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining. And yes, please be sure to share this out. Lucas is fantastic. He is local here in Prescott, but he can help you out, you guys. So give him a call, contact him, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Be blessed, be fruitful, multiply, be prosperous, guys. Talk to you soon.